Hello Jabalians, it's Crewman here, and today we're gonna have a deep dive into, in my opinion, most versatile hero in the whole game, the Bazaar, at least in the current patch. So today we're gonna look into his unique abilities and unique labels, then we will take a look into consistent and non-consistent builds. As well, in the last part, I will showcase you unique Pygmalion encounters that you should definitely visit. Stay tuned! So let's start with an overview. So Pygmalion's strong sides, it's first of all ability to increase his income massively. So it's pretty normal to have an income around 20 a day, but in some most extreme scenarios, you can boost it up to 40 or even 50 gold per day. And another strong side of Pygmalion, it's of course high damage output. Utilizing different type of build, he can easily one-shot more than 20k HP and shield together. And this is why he has probably the strongest late game in the whole game, as it is for now. So he's also able to generate a lot of gold through different type of manipulation with items. Definitely he has many strong viable builds, and he can have enormous amount of health that is difficult to deal with for other heroes in the game. However, he has several weaknesses. For example, he has pretty weak early game, so you can easily be in a case where up to day 5 you could not get any wins, which feels sometimes frustrating, but if you know what you're doing, you can easily overcome this weakness. Next part, his builds are very item dependent, and if you will be focusing on one particular build, it's pretty easy that you will just not have an opportunity to find this item. And last part, which maybe not be so obvious, but he really lacks a space, both on his table and in a stash. And in some cases, it can be a huge problem. So Pygmalion have multiple unique items, and the first, what I already mentioned, is income and generating the value. Here, as you see, plus 14 income a day is not so huge, but he can easily double it. As well as he has a lot of items that either generate extra spare change, grows your daily income, increase the value of adjacent items or the items that were into play. Not so many skills are focused on generating income, but you can find, I think, 3 altogether in the game. So next unique part is property. Pygmalion has a lot of different properties who can be used in different type of scenarios. And you are usually using at least one in almost any run you will be doing. It's pretty common to have 3 properties on your table, with some supportive small items. Next part, not really well developed at this particular moment of the game. But currently Pygmalion has the most apparel items, and many of them changes the way you play the game. It's just to know, currently this tag is not often used, but I think that game developers have a high intention to implement this more and more. And the last part, it's extremely necessary to maintain correct positioning for Pig. For me personally, there was a lot of cases where I just didn't put the item in the right spot, so I was creating a value for the wrong item in the wrong place. Keep an eye on the way how you choose and how you position your items. So let's dive into builds. In this video, I split builds in 2 ways, like consistent and non-consistent. In general, the key differentiation is that in most of the cases, you will have an opportunity to build consistent ones more often and more reliable than doing inconsistent ones. And still, as there is such many builds viable for Pygmalion, you can use any of this. And we'll start with the probably most known Pygmalion build is Fixer Upper build, which is called because of this beautiful, not ready made property, which has a unique ability to provide amount of shield on the diamond level 4 times more than this item value. So if you will be focusing on creating and increasing the value of the Fixer Upper, and here's a rewards card will be the most efficient item together with Deed, you can grow this property to enormous amounts that can generate you enormous shield. Supportive items like Balcony just doubles all the value you have created. But generating a shield is not usually enough. So you need some item to finish it, and usually the spike shield is the one that you would like to use because it converts all the shield created by Fixer Upper into the damage output. An alternative to the spike shield can be a force field, which you can win through the bot encounter. So this could be the core setup, and then you try to maximize the value of the Fixer Upper. Currently, the most popular item is Deeds. So Deeds adds up value when you sell 10 items. So this means that you would like to visit and operate and buy all the items that generate extra tokens. Gumball Machine in the late game scenario is probably the place you definitely want to visit just to have value increase by visiting one item. I think the next most popular item would be Subscraper that allows to increase even more the Fixer Upper value, and then you can enchant it, and almost any enchantment will be valuable and can also give you an additional win condition for you. The problem with Fixer Upper is what I previously mentioned, that you usually have no space at all in your stash and in your table. And if you want to do any manipulations with your items, then you in some cases need to sell some valuable items. And this, what you see currently, is pretty often scenario with a Fixer Upper build, and in general with Pygmalien in most of his runs. Notable mentions: after day 10 or on day 10, you want to win the fights against the Property Baron. Property Baron has a unique Master Salesman skills that doubles the value of all your item during combat, and this just significantly boosts your shield and as well damage output. Additional bot fight is Awakened District, which has an opportunity to haste another items when you're using a large item. A Fixer Upper is usually on a cooldown less than 4 seconds, but the Spike Shield has a cooldown of 8 seconds, so you want to speed up its usage. So this is a great opportunity to increase the damage output. We move to the second most consistent build, and I think it's got even higher popularity within latest patch when we were allowed to pick an enchanted small item at the beginning of the run. This worked before that, but now with an ability to already select one small item and can significantly impact your run on day 1 makes this run even easier. So in this build, there are 2 items, Matchbox and Marbles, which is the key of this build, because they allow to trigger each other, and Matchbox is triggered when an adjacent item is used, and you can speed up the usage of adjacent item by using other small items which are not weapons. And then you can enrich this build with any other options. In some cases you just want to have 10 different small items and just creating a synergy. There is also pretty popular build with including with yo-yo and some items that improve the yo-yo output. Usually it's head, or you can do it with Windmill that charges your items even faster when the small item is triggered. The third and the last, in my opinion, consistent item is Crook Atlatl build, which is focused on medium item usage, as it mentioned. So Crook is the key item that just generates massive damage output for the all medium items. Atlatl allows you to damage at the highest rate popular, so triggering once in a second. And currently with a huge rise of Vanessa's aquatic item builds that has a lot of items triggering multiple times, having Keltros is actually an extremely good idea. But you need to grow its damage output. Of course, you use Crook that gives your items 80 additional damage on diamond level, but there is also a possibility to use Dragon Tooth, especially in bot fights, that just converts your money into damage. Or you can remove the all 5 medium item synergy and replace it with a gym with some additional small item. And we're moving to what I call not so consistent builds. We start with a build I personally call it over 9000, but in general this build is focused on creating a huge amount of health point. As you can see here, you can reach more than 100,000 HP points, 67, 36. It's a huge amount of HP to deal with for your opponents. Key elements for this build, I would say we should start with the pawn shop that generates you extra health throughout the run, and you need to increase this item value. So reward cards, deeds also work here as well. Key item here would be a belt that double amount of HP generated. So in conjunction with balcony and a pawn shop, this is what drives you that enormous amount of HP. And to do damage, you either use a lion cane or double whammy. And if you have 60,000 HP, so the double whammy can give you 30% of your HP strike twice. I think nobody can survive. So we move on. And the next one is freezing, which I would call stalling rather than freezing. But yeah, as we are using a giant ice club, yeah, it has more connection to freezing. Key elements here would be giant ice club, snowball, and fort that just falls all the item usage, and the items has more than 8-second charge time, strike twice. And the last position could be a stopwatch that just generate extra freezing so we can activate the ice club more often. It has also huge damage output, and if you enchant it with burn or poison, so your opponent will just melt down. And moving to the last build in this video, it's burning, which is burning/regenerate. This is the most recent build introduced with launch of the battle pass, so you need to reach out the last battle pass level to unlock those Pygmalien items. And what the build is basically focused on is applying burn, and through applying burn it will generate you regeneration by using sauna, hot, or the hot stones. Any freeze additional items will just enrich amount of triggers and enrich amount of burn and regeneration applied. So this is definitely a new build you should try out, at least in the safe and normal game mode. And we move next to the Pygmalien specific encounters. And this is my video of Vanessa that you can check right here. I will start with Tiny Furry that you just need to remember, because Tiny Furry will allow you to have extra XP if you're having a toy or a friend. And for Pygmalien, getting levels fast is not only ability to grow his HP, but also to get gold items faster. Next, Jungle Ruins. I think I should definitely mention this place, because as Pygmalien in all of his builds is focused on getting extra income, then missing an opportunity within first 2 days not to visit Jungle Ruins will significantly worsen your builds in general. So first 2 days you must choose the Jungle Ruins option. So more specific encounter is Bazaar Con. You need to have a business card. So in this case, during the Bazaar Con, you will have a possibility to get 1 extra XP, which is a high differentiation in a long-term run. To make it happen, you should buy a business card, which in general it's a good item to generate extra value. So Economic Seminar is a unique Pygmalien encounter which offers you to get 1 economic item or skill for free, or to get 2 of those for the cost of 4 gold. In all of the scenarios, investing 4 gold will give you an items and skill value which is higher than invested money. So my advice is to pay 4 gold, get 2 items, and in most of the cases those items will generate you even more gold, so you can cover all your expenses pretty fast. Next one, I think it's has very rare conditions to meet, but if you're having an ice cream truck and you're visiting a street festival, instead of visiting 3 different merchants, you can have a possibility to get 5 gold and 1 extra XP. So somewhat replacement of Star Chart for Vanessa during the visiting docks. And the last one is Investment Pitch. Investment Pitch gives you 4 options. So option number 1 is to get 4 extra XP. Option 2, upgrade your property. Option 3 is to double your income. And then the last one is to double the value of your property, which is extremely important if you're running with a fixer-upper or a gym as your main core of the build. And then the ending. As I mentioned, Pygmalien is an awesome hero to try. Has many viable builds, and if you invest your time mastering runs with Pygmalien, you will have an awesome time in the game. If you liked this guide, so hit like and subscribe button, and we'll meet you soon. Bye!